Hey, what's up, guys? It's Scalia, and today I have a question for you. Do you worry too much? Do you worry about the things in your life that may be happening, or if stuff is just not going your way? That you worry when things get hard, or things kind of come up, and you just get scared? Or are you worried about what could happen? About the things that you don't really know for certain? That, things that may be surprising, like new bills, that pop quiz, that new person in your life, or just that social situation you want to be in? Or are you worried about what you're doing? Are you making the right decisions? Or how do you make the right decision? And if so, do you feel like it's enough? Do you question if you're working hard enough? That if you see your peers or your family or your friends making moves and you're not making the same moves, are you on their same level? If that's the case, it's completely okay. I check all these boxes as well. Like these past 3 or 4 months, I've felt this way, and it probably stems from me coming from a family of warriors. My whole family just worries about every single thing, about work, school, about what's happening within their household, just everything. We pace laps in our minds constantly, and it does not help that we all suffer from extreme anxiety disorder. We all kind of have this pent up, this like frustration within us, and like we have panic attacks. There's avoidance. There's constant arguing and fighting, and even isolation where we just kind of lock ourselves in our rooms. So I felt like making this video because this past week I've been just worrying constantly about where my life is going. That I've had so many sleepless nights that just my mind won't rest, and I'm just like, oh, I was not productive enough today, or I still can't find a job, or man, what's school gonna be like? So let's take this time we're in right now, for example, the pandemic. This type of situation calls for this type of thinking, to feel kind of depressed or just anxious, right? So before all this, I was in my senior year of high school. Before that, I was kind of, just like this chill guy that just kind of, was involved in lots of things, like with my friends or extracurricular, like stuff like clubs. I had a job. But then once senior year hit, I tried to fit this image of being the perfect student. So I quit my job and I stopped having fun with everything. I stopped participating in clubs. I chose to join all these organizations like the Key Club and the National Honor Society to kind of fit this image, right? But what happened was my worries were controlling my whole life. I was so worried about grades that if my grades were high enough for certain classes like AP classes or advanced math like calculus, or I was worried about my college applications, that this whole year I pushed myself so hard for something that I've been relying on my whole life. My peers, my teachers, even my mom have told me my whole life that school's my best option. And then I was just so worried about not doing well that I neglected the importance of almost my life, which was to be happy. I stopped hanging out with my friends. I stopped writing my book. I stopped drawing. I stopped thinking about my freaking YouTube channel. And I saw any form of entertainment, like watching TV, playing video games, just reading books even a waste of time. But once we got to go home to this COVID-19 arc we're in, right? This new Corona era, I got my college apps back, and I was denied from every single school that I applied to. So granted, I was favoring the community college route to save more money, but still, my whole life was formed around this ideology that school was my way out. That, since my mom struggled basically my whole life to sacrifice for us, give us the kind of appearance of a good life, and these past 3 years to actually make our lives comfortable and good, that I had to pay that debt by becoming successful in school to get that big job or whatever, right? But once this happened, I started to worry even more. That, like, my first reaction was to find a job, right? So I called my old job, I called all these different jobs, and I still can't get a job because lots of places right now have to cut staff and can't really work anywhere. Because as people, we seek to be defined by something, whether that's our job, like you're a doctor, a construction worker, a nurse or something, or you're a student, you're a high schooler, you're a college student, a relationship status, like you're a boyfriend, you're a girlfriend, you're a wife or a husband, or a mother or a father. And I didn't really have any of this. I felt like just this loser, that I was a waste of space. But around April or so, I picked myself up and started to work on my dreams even more. I spent about 4 to 6 hours a day writing. I was practicing my art, and I was learning how to make YouTube videos. These are all hobbies of mine that I have been willing to kind of dwell in my whole life, and because these make me really happy, and I want to hopefully make them a career one day. Not sure how, but I won't stop trying. But I started to worry about these things, that I wasn't good enough to do this. My stories are garbage. My videos suck. My drawing skills will never be good. That, how stupid am I to even believe in myself? We got people like most of my friends do computer programming, or they're good at marketing or like history and stuff, and I just would draw and write stories. Like, how stupid am I? I should just give up and focus on school, right? Get a job. And that's a crucial part about being a warrior. We think about what people will think of us. I've worried about school my whole life, that it's my only option. That I worried about if I played video games or would watch TV, that I'd end up just being a loser and wasting time, which would end up with me worrying even more, which would waste time, right? Then back in high school, around sophomore year, I started to dress nicer, and I would cut my hair a lot better, and I was worried people would make fun of me for like this new style change, and so I stayed hidden. Jumping off that, I would always worry that the girl I liked would reject me, or not like me for who I am, or she would think my stutter is weird, or even worse, which has happened before, which they would laugh at it. Or this caused me to come off as either unconfident, which people just could not see because I was like so vocal in class, and just like the ways I carried myself was just not really kind of shy, right? Or the second thing that would have happened was I would just avoid that girl entirely, and would just make me just miss out on my chance. But these past couple months, And especially last week, I learned that you just don't have to care at all. Just stop caring, bro. There's no reason to freaking care. Because humans can't help but worry about what people will think. That we just form this in our heads that people will care about what we're doing or what we'll do. And people who think all the time and want to achieve something bigger than themselves will be warriors. People who push themselves will always worry. If you worry about you're right or wrong or what people will think of you, it's just holding you back. You're the one who's holding you back, nobody else. You will never achieve what you want to achieve. If you're jobless, can't find a job, you're in self-doubt because your dreams, your dream business or your dream goals are just not for you, or just sound dumb, or you can't get into that big university like your friends, it doesn't have to matter. Nobody has to live your life but you. So stop living this kind of fake life with yourself. Because in actuality, nobody cares. Nobody cares about you. Nobody cares about what you're doing. To at least the people who don't already care about you in the first place, like your family or your closest friends. Almost nowadays, people are too selfish to even care for real, because people just project what they're missing on you. So if you get made fun of, just brush it off as a compliment. Haters just make you stronger. You're doing something right. So stop worrying, bro, because life is way too short to worry about every single thing. So I've seen my mom and my dad worry their whole lives, and it just wastes so much energy. So if you're worrying about all these things, just stop. Go do that thing. Go write that book. Go learn how to draw. Go, get that dream career. Go start that business. Go talk to that girl. Talk to that boy. Whatever you want to do. Just stop worrying. It's not worth it. So, with that being said, know the truth. Speak the truth. It's Scalia, signing off.